Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Metal Gear 5 Ground Zeroes side missions. This one's something or other to do with Intel operative classified information, something like that. I'm the Mysterious JG. I don't have Bobo with me because, I had a hankering to play a Metal Gear game, and I figured he would be cool with it if, I played something that's not part of the story canon. It's a little side mission. Because as much as I felt like playing Metal Gear today, I didn't quite feel like playing Snake Tales. or we don't even have. I can't even do Snake versus Monkey because I don't have the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Doesn't include Snake versus Monkey, which was an optional extra. Well, not, it was an extra on the like Metal Gear Subsistence. Blah blah blah. Man, just going off on tangents again. I don't even have a bunch of Mountain Dew in me today. But Metal Gear Solid 3 uh, came out for PS2 and whatever else it came out on. And then there was an extended edition that came out later on with some optional extras, including something called Snake vs. Monkey, which was, I think, only part of Subsistence. So maybe it was part of the original game, too. And it's just goofy little side missions you do involving monkeys. And Paul Eiding voices the Colonel, who gives you your briefs. And it's obviously not part of the main canon storyline because it's Snake in the jungle trying to capture monkeys using a stun gun type weapon. But it's not available on the HD collection. Neither is in 3 Snake's Nightmare about a vampires, aka Big Boss's Nightmare about vampires, because that was selling some other Konami game. A couple little things missing. Don't know why I'm talking about that though, because what I should be talking about is our current mission to find the classified intel which is located near the admin building. A lot of guards here to mark. This was our last location, so it makes sense that they're searching there. Let's try. Probably shouldn't be on the move, but I'm moving away from them, and if their search pattern brings them over in my current direction, well, their search pattern not really moving around much at all, are they? Nobody up there, oddly. Which means that's actually would be a pretty smart place for me to go. Because, if nothing else, for the sake of LP purposes, I'd like to actually attempt to play this in a way that would be an intelligent way to do it for reals. And in my mind, part of that would be actually finding a good vantage point to show you where we're heading. And we're heading... Well, it's actually a pretty rotten vantage point because there's a radar tower on the way. But we're actually heading to this tower over here. That tower is actually on the other side of a wall. There's some fencing. There's some choke points where we can't just approach it in whatever way we think is convenient to us. Not sure where these guys are heading, but it looks like I want to stay low. And they're resuming their normal patrol, and I guess these guys got summoned from over here. Where they're actually patrolling is a prison camp. Oh, there's another guard over there. Man, actually... Hindsight's 20/20, but I should have... Oh, fudge. I think I know where that guy's going. Yep, I think I know where he's going. I thought it was strange there was no guard posted up here. Well, maybe not. But, it looked very much to me like he was coming up here to take over this guard tower. Maybe not. Maybe not. Would make a whole lot of sense for, Oh, fuck. How do I get out of here? This turns out to have been the worst place to come to.
What the? Huh? What's up?
Okay. Please come over here to where I can actually shoot at you. Bullet time helped me out there. Not the most efficient in the world. I was trying for headshots from the get-go. It was only about the third time when I went to bullet time that I actually got one to work. Turning on this light here is what signals that intelligence operative. Now that I've already talked to him, I don't know what it will do. Possibly nothing.
Get that cassette tape. I've marked the location on your iDroid.
That's basically Master Miller's way of saying, quit fucking around. So is that light on now or off?
Secure that cassette tape. It contains classified information.
I'm trying to turn it off, but...
Get that cassette tape. I've marked the location on your iDroid.
Somebody said, huh. Probably because they're trying to figure out why this... why the light is reacting the way it's reacting. Got some smoke grenades. Yeah, he's not coming over here to check out this light, so this was actually not smart. Oh, fuck.
Pull yourself together.
They really don't react that strongly to guys falling spontaneously asleep right in front of them. How am I not hitting him? So many wasted tranq rounds. I found like 2 containers of the ammo over here, and yet it's...
All fire teams, this is CP. We may have a situation. Whoever's closest, go check it out.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's turned into a boondoggle. Got a lot of sleepy guards over here. Shouldn't have played with the light. I was curious what happens if you... Ooh, there's a... Okay, this is not here in the other mission.
All fire teams, this is CP. We lost the security camp. There's no reason for it to be down. Whoever's closest, go check it out.
Well, they were coming over here anyway. But I really appreciate that, actually. The fact that you can just shoot out security cameras in Metal Gear games and nobody cares. Like, that's a valid way to get... Like, starting from Metal Gear Solid 2. Because in Metal Gear Solid 1, you can't do the first-person shooting. But from Metal Gear Solid 2 onward, you have the option of shooting cameras in first-person view as a way of not being spotted by them. And even back then, I always thought, wasn't somebody watching those cameras? Isn't that the whole point? What are they supposed to think if a camera just stops working? Why didn't that guy get spotted? Oh well. I appear to have taken out the fire teams who would be expected to go report on that. And as much as the realism has improved for the game over the course of time... Ah, fudge. Somebody is coming over here. I think I'm in trouble. Always bad when you get spotted. Somebody's curious, they're coming to check you out, and you don't know where they're coming from. He might be the guy. Or not. Maybe I'm okay. The vehicle is still driving around. That time I must have hit him. Only got 16 rounds left. If I was actually hitting people with the first shot, I would be fine, because there's only 25 guards total. Surely there are some guards I won't encounter during this. You can steal trucks and drive them around. I don't think that's going to be useful to us here. Because they do guards, if you drive close enough to guards, they will kind of look in the cab and see that you are not one of them, and they don't take too kindly to it. Yeah, but you can turn this into like Grand Theft Metal Gear and drive around in... Well, Grand Theft Metal Gear would mean you're driving around Metal Gear. Badass as that would be. I don't know if you can just find Metal Gears parked for you to drive around at, you know, your leisure. That is a blue door, so sadly we can't go in there. But I am kind of feeling the rate at which we've gone through trank ammo, and I'm anxious for opportunities to get some more. So yeah, nothing to be done with this door. It's just decorative building. It's much easier to scout for enemies from a high vantage point. That's why it's a shame that I had so many obstructions between me and this place from the guard tower that I tried to use to scout it out. A better player than me would have found a better vantage point rather than charging ahead semi-blind to the threats ahead. But operative word there, better. Well, not by itself, doesn't mean much. Better than me. A player who's better than me would do that. But I am not a player who's better than me. I'm a player who's exactly as good as me. For example, we could get up here. That would be a pretty good place to do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Getting up there and would be a challenge, though. At least I can see him. If you can get to the base of one of those towers and creep up to the top, you can usually creep up to the top of it without being detected. But he appears to be keeping an eye out on that in that general direction. But there's a reason he's not observing what's going on in here too much, and that's because there are plenty of guards in this place keeping an eye on it. The layouts are different between the different missions, but I have an instinctive fear of this place because in the main Ground Zero story mission, this is where you start getting into the very heavily guarded section of the game. This is the administration building. I see you're not allowed to steal that vehicle. I'm pretty sure you're not anyway. Somebody just sneezed, which is an indication that there are guards in here somewhere. There's more than one way to get into this administrative facility, but the red door right there is going to bring us very, very close to that entrance of that tower if we can get in there without being detected. There is a way to sneak in that I can't quite remember. There's like a sort of maintenance shaft.
Open the front gate.
And that truck is driving back and forth constantly. Unfortunately, I can remember where that thing puts you out better than I can remember how to get in. Oh, fudge. I don't know about this, folks. I think we might be about to get spotted. When you get that feeling, sometimes it's a good idea to get out fast. Other times it's a good idea to just stay put and hope for the best. And it looks like we were right to wait. Unless he wanders over here farther, if he turns around, we'll be in a good place. He didn't quite turn around in the direction I was hoping. But he's not coming directly over here either. And now he kind of is. From where we are, can't get a good shot off because we're staring directly into this whatever you want to call it, this concrete slab for... Okay, don't really need to get... Could have just snuck up on him and meleeed him, but I don't know where there's other guards who would have heard him struggling. There's another red door over there. I can't use the binoculars from here. Oh wait, yes I can. I'm just using the wrong button, but I can't see anything because of the parking slab. There's a red door over there. It's probably a little armory. There's a guard moving around over there that I couldn't see without coming out of, with the binoculars without coming out of cover. But if this guy goes down, we'll just move right along. I'm almost tempted to just pick up and run rather than crawling, but I'm usually going to crawl unless I know that there's a big advantage to moving swiftly. So there's another guard. There's potentially more goodies. This little big central open area is a great place to get spotted, but it's actually not as heavily guarded as I remember in some other scenarios. They generally don't increase the number of guards between missions and in this game. They just switch up where they're located. I don't know whether moving this guy is going to be advantageous or not, but I tend to feel like leaving him here is not a good idea. They do allow you to move guards in this game once you've incapacitated them. Crawling around backwards like this doesn't seem that smart either. Guy's pretty far away. Can probably move this guy okay. Get him just a little further away. Passing through doors like this always seems kind of risky because you never know when there's somebody waiting right around the corner. And you can use cool corner mechanics to try to figure stuff out. This is a reasonably safe little corner of the world as long as you don't try to advance too far past that restricted area fence in the main mission. But again, guard placements could be different. Where I actually need to go, I'm going to show you guys real quick. There's a little tunnel here, which would have been a way to sneak into this base, but I couldn't remember where it came out. So now I'm just curious. I want to see where it comes out. It definitely comes out outside of the main the main admin building. Okay, so in theory, had I been able to get to here without getting to that door, there is a guy heading in this direction. So smart move. This is how I really should have gotten in. Might have been able to avoid tranking at least one guard this way. Tranking a guard without being spotted first is good, but bypassing a guard completely so you never interact with them directly is better. Since I got into an alert mode, I seriously doubt I'm going to get an S rank on this mission. It's pretty much out of the question now, but... So, smart thing to do now, moving past that fence and you get into these buildings over here, that's like your final task other than escaping the base in the main story mission. In this game, it should not be necessary. I need to get to... You see that square on the screen? That's where I need to be. And it's right around some of these corners over here. This place is actually pretty sparsely guarded compared to the main story. Probably because you don't actually need to come over here. As far as I know, anyway. Not seeing any guards. Climb the ladder. Doesn't seem to be anybody in the tower either. Let's take a second to sip some tea. In some missions there's a guard or two standing here facing out this way towards the outside of the base. There's almost always somebody in the tower itself. Not this time. Doesn't really make sense from a military security perspective, however. We do happen to know that this place is a plot point now in the mission, that this is where you go to get the classified intel. And right down there we see that green light flashing. That is the approximate location where, had I rode in on the truck and stayed with the truck until it was parked, I would have started my mission there. Wouldn't have done me as much good as you might think, because the somebody's sneezing again. Wouldn't have been as good as you might think. It probably seems like, wow, you start like very close to where you need to be. Yes, but without talking to the intel operative, I cannot actually finish the mission by coming here. I won't know that this is where I need to go. There's an armored vehicle down there. Probably don't want to interact with it. And it's a bit funny. I'm actually because I was watching these E3 gameplay videos. I've adapted the soft voice narrative style of the guy who was narrating those. Now, so right in there is where we need to be. But there's a security camera. I know this based on a prior playthrough. I think it's reasonable to take precautions, and I should be careful before going in there. But in fact, I wasn't, and you get caught.
Secure that cassette tape. It contains classified information.
Yes, but can you tell me anything about this?
A surveillance camera. That a trap? Did the agent set us up?
Because in fact, if you just go in there and get spotted, he says, that's a trap, the agent set us up. When you get spotted by it. The real problem I have now is that, as previously mentioned, the game is realistic about the fact that if you trigger one of these things, or if you blow it up, even if you use a silencer and don't get spotted, they're still going to send people to investigate.
All fire teams, this is CP. We lost the security camp. There's no reason for it to be down. Whoever's closest, go check it out.
They don't rush quite as quickly.
CP, this is Zulu 2. We'll investigate ASAP.
Because they are all over it if you actually get spotted. So what I'm going to do is try to find some place to hide. This should work. Obviously I can be seen by somebody who's peering underneath the ducts. I'm not perfectly hidden,
Opening front gate.
but I'm reasonably well hidden. And this might be overcautious, but I want to stay down here until I hear the all clear. They're no longer worried about that camera. I don't know where all the guards are, but I'm certain there's somebody close enough to check that thing out. Although the game sometimes will send the message that they want you to investigate stuff. They want guards to investigate things, and then the guards never do it. If the guard who would be close enough normally to take care of it is somebody that you've already taken out without it being detected. I don't see any guards that we'd previously spotted moving up there. But I do hear footsteps. But yeah, despite the... I mean, I always feel like trying to move fairly quickly, keep things fun and entertaining in an LP. But, I mean, if we were seriously trying to deal with this situation, we probably would want to take our time about it here. Getting bored now. And really doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything about that camera. This was the vantage point from which we would be able to see anybody going up there to investigate it, and unless they already went up and we missed it, it doesn't seem like it's happening. I do hear a surveillance camera. I couldn't hear it before. There are surveillance cameras placed around here as part of the main mission, but I doubt they'll be at the same place here. I've already passed by at least one camera that was not there in the main mission, that was here in this one, and the main mission we wouldn't be able to get up to this this building here without taking out at least one camera. Well, that's one of the... I recognize that camera of old. And there was another camera over here someplace. It looks like only one of them is in place this time. Don't know if the camera... Ooh. Camera will probably spot us if we go into that armory over there, so let's ignore it. Doesn't look like anybody... Shit. Fuck. So I don't know who spotted me, but I'm gonna have to showcase one of the game's unfortunate mechanics where you can just wait for people up here. They don't do a very good job of spotting you. But our score just went through the floor. Alright, I'll tell you what, it's just about time to call it a video anyway. I'm trying to pause the game. Yeah, it's time to call it a video anyway. This, it has neither been the smoothest nor the worst run I've ever had playing this game. But I got spotted by somebody that I didn't see, which makes it hard for me to figure out exactly what I did wrong. But all that stalling and waiting around after making sure to take out the camera without being seen by it first, and we ended up at exactly the same position we would have been had I just rushed it. Which is up the ladder with only one way down and detected by the enemy. So that's kind of how it goes in Metal Gear sometimes, folks. You spend a lot of time trying to do it the safe and stealthy way, and then one goof and you still end up at the same spot you would have been had you just Rambo'd your way through. We're going to call it a video here. When we come back, I don't know if we've got a full video's worth of material to get out, because really... we've got to get a hold of that tape, and I'm not even going to listen to it because I'm afraid that it has spoilers for Peace Walker. But we got to get a hold of that tape and then get back out of the base, and that's how this thing wraps up. So we'll do that next time, folks. Hopefully, I can do it in a way that doesn't involve killing Marines. I'm Mysterious JG. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time with more of Metal Gear Solid 5 Side Ops. Bye-bye.